What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about cha-ching, The Wheel of Osheim by Mark Lawrence. So guys, for those that don't know, this is book number 3 in the Red Queen's War trilogy. But before any of you guys go running away because of spoilers, oh no, book 3, I just want you guys to get comfortable. Because after reading this, I kind of went back and forth on how I was going to break down the narrative, and I don't think I'm going to, at least not very much. I'm going to tread very lightly because I think it's important for you guys to just know my thoughts and feelings right now about this book, because I do think this is one of the best, or probably the most well-written book of Mark Lawrence that I've read. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so like I said, I want to tread lightly on this narrative. So what I will say is that here in the Wheel of Osheim, we are finishing up our journey with Grimdark's dynamic duo, Jalin and Snorri. Now, the other thing I want to say is this Red Queen's War trilogy is a story of a queen's war, but it is told through the pawn's perspective. And now Jalin and Snorri are some of our pawns. They are our focus characters that we have been following, and I do think that Mark Lawrence did a great job of buttoning up this trilogy to create something that's very satisfying and mind-blowing at times as well. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is the story structure and its pacing. I think as far as structure-wise, I think that most of the readers coming off of the Liar's Key will be surprised in the way that Mark Lawrence starts out the Wheel of Osheim. The way he starts it out, it will hit you, and you will have gaps immediately in the story. So you're immediately kind of going, well, what the fuck? Well, what happened there? But it's okay, because soon after that, Mark Lawrence is going to hit you with the information and all the context that you need to begin to fill those gaps. And he does it in the most Mark Lawrence of ways. Flashbacks. Now, I do think that his use of the flashbacks is very well done. I think that he doesn't overuse them. They do help push the story forward. He uses them almost strategically. So what happens is they feel fluid, and you don't feel like you're just popping in and out of the story, back and forth out of timelines and threads. Which then leads me into the pacing of the story, and that has a lot to do with the structure and even these flashbacks, because I do think that this story is a pretty smooth ride, though I do think what kind of might hold readers up is those questions that are forming in your head before you're getting the information. You're just wondering, you're like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? I need this answer, and Mark Lawrence is gonna give it to you. So really at that point, the only thing holding you back is yourself. And I say this because I know that there are plenty of us out there that do this, you know what I mean? The story's pacing slows down because you're tripping about an answer that is yet to come. So you just kind of have to get into that mode and let Mark Lawrence deliver the story on his terms and not yours. So the pacing thing is maybe going to be different for some, but I do think there's going to be this mass majority of folks that are slowing it down for themselves just because they want an answer that's just a couple pages away. The next thing I want to talk about is Mark Lawrence's writing in the book. There is an obvious evolution in his writing. If you were following him from Prince of Thorns, each book up until now, holy moly, man. There is a massive amount of growth as a writer, as an author, and it's there in spades. It is so well written. This might not be my favorite of Mark Lawrence's books, but it is without a doubt. I feel like it's his best one. The way it's written, he's got such a great prose in this one. He just hits you with beautiful, disgusting everything. This is a very well-rounded fantasy book. It's almost hard to say that this is grimdark because I feel like this one goes well above and beyond. The next thing I want to talk about is the story's action, because with Mark Lawrence, I think we've all become accustomed to that violent, visceral action that he can pull off, and it's definitely here like it is in the rest of his stories. But I also think that he kicks it up a notch and pulls off something I haven't really seen him do, and that is just full-scale battle. Just a full-on war, and he does it so well. It pulled me out of the story, but in the most best of ways. It pulled me out of the story going damn, he's bringing it, and this is badass. The other thing that Mark Lawrence really bumped up a notch in this book is the element of horror. Honestly, guys, this day and age, it's really easy to say, like, that zombies and the undead are really played out or just, not that enticing. But I'll tell you what, Mark Lawrence brings it again. Just like he brought the action, he brings the horror. And I couldn't have wanted to read more about a battle with the undead army more than in this one. Like, he really just makes it engaging, entertaining, and nightmarish at times, which honestly, that's what I'm looking for. I love the dark and dastardly nature that he can pen on the page. It's damn good. Now, I know I'm gushing, but honestly, this isn't even where the book really shined for me. The two places where this book really shined was world building and character development. So let's get into that shit. The world building aspects of this book are through the fucking roof. And if you're a fan of the Broken Empire, you heard me in the other reviews of this trilogy that you owe it to yourself to read it, especially just for the, world building and lore knowledge. Holy fuck, if that is not true, it is extremely true for this one. I just think that, Mark Lawrence is amazing. I think he is underrated when it comes to world building because it's kind of like slow burn world building, slow reveal stuff. And it can kind of go over your head. But in this one, Jesus Christ, once again, he's bringing it, man. This was great. It has all kinds of stuff in there that you will be kind of able to kind of be like, oh, what? I know what that is. And there might be some stuff that you're just not sure. Either way, he just delivers all of this gold, man. I mean, this thing is chocked full of new stuff. It elaborates on stuff that we already heard about in the other trilogy, as well as the previous books. Man, he's just hitting you with all kinds of stuff. And let's face it, the builder technology throughout these books is so cool. It's intriguing. In some ways, it's nostalgic, right? I mean, it's just fucking cool. Possibly the only thing better than the world building. Possibly, because the world building is just that fucking good. But possibly better than that is Mark Lawrence's character development, specifically with the character of Jalan Kendith. Now, this is, once again, like how Mark Lawrence is kind of a slow burn world builder. This is one of the best, character arcs, just like him evolving as a character slowly. You almost won't even notice the change. And that's what really makes it feel so much more natural, so much more organic. And when you get to the end, it's just like, fuck, dude, I can't believe that he managed to transform Jalan Kendith. You know what I mean? Because this is the coward of cowards. Just not a fucking dude that you would trust to have your back. And the situations that Jalan has to go through, man, it's like basically the whole world is going to have to depend on the biggest coward. And the trials and tribulations that Mark Lawrence puts Jalan Kendith through will shape him as a new man. And it's just subtle at times. And it's so well done. Now, it's super easy to gush about a character like Jalan Kendith, and especially with the way that Mark Lawrence handled his character arc, but I also want to just kind of go off about how well he handled these other characters as well. He brought Snorri to us. This is a character that might have the purest heart, and it might be the most selfless warrior, and he has such a tragic backstory, and really, following him, his story doesn't get any less tragic. Snorri is almost like a character from the Silmarillion. It's so tragic at times. I'm actually getting a little choked up just talking about Snorri, because that's what I'm trying to get at, guys, is that's a character now in the Broken Empire. That blows my mind, because I'm so used to ruthless savages or just motherfuckers that I love, but for another reason. But now Mark Lawrence has created somebody that I am emotionally invested in different ways than I am the rest of his cast and crew. Another character that really shines throughout this trilogy for me is Alyssa Kendith. Now, that is the Red Queen herself, and this whole trilogy is her war. And there is a lot about me that wants to say, I want Mark Lawrence to return to this world and give us another trilogy about, the Red Queen. But like I said kind of in the beginning of this thing, this trilogy is about the Red Queen. It's just told from a pawn's perspective. So it's kind of hard for me to kind of bitch and moan or ask Mark Lawrence to get back out there and give us more. But the thing is he did develop a character, a strong female character that I enjoy and I would love to read more and more about, honestly. Like, just, the little bits about how she became the Red Queen, her steadfastness in this battle is amazing. Like, I feel the determination. When the Red Queen is on the page, I know that she is fucking going for it. Like, she's going to give everything, sacrifice all if she has to win this fucking thing. And there's something about that is just so intriguing and made it easy to engage when reading her parts. So as far as my 2 cents for the slow and the struggling, yes, absolutely yes. The Wheel of Osheim is for you. The Red Queen's War Trilogy is for you. I could not scream about this enough. I love the Broken Empire trilogy, guys. Everybody knows that, especially if you watch this channel. But I do think that what Mark Lawrence did with the Red Queen's War is much more accessible for the average reader. It's not going to take you to a depth that you don't want to go. It is graphic at times and dark, but it is also an enjoyable read. It is funny through, like, from beginning to end. It is heartfelt. It is a lot of things that are more in line with your regular fantasy tales than more so like edgy grimdark, okay? So I don't want anybody to be scared getting into this. This is great. Yes, I would say it's grimdark. I also think it kind of straddles the Grimheart line. I think this has one of the best, like, unpredictable grimdark friendships that you could read about. And like I said earlier, the character development is phenomenal. And Mark Lawrence isn't throwing anything your way that you haven't already dealt with, except for maybe a little extra in the world building and mind melting category. Because just like with all of his stuff, he's smart, he's intelligent, and he's going to kind of throw you for a loop here or there when you're trying to kind of understand his world. So maybe you might have to read some things maybe once or twice. I know I did, but goddamn, if it ain't cool, interesting, and just smart as all hell. All right, guys, as always, thanks for spending some time down here at the channel into Mark Lawrence. Akadoosh. 2 thumbs up. Bam, bam, 2 salutes. Holy shit. And I know, guys, I know that this turned into quite the gush review, but that's the whole point, I think. If I got this channel and I fall in love with something I read, I just, I want to fucking gush, okay? So let me do my thing. Anyway, hopefully you didn't find any of this too much of a waste of your time. Like I said, it was really tricky kind of getting into the narrative or don't do the narrative. But I do think that I'd rather all of you guys watch this video if you were going to watch any of them. I don't know if that makes any sense, but hey, you know what? Bah. If you're new, please like, If you're new, please like and subscribe. It helps me grow the channel, and I'm gonna need that for fucking money to send myself back to school because I can't even talk, all right? All right, you know what time it is. Peace.